Hello, I'm Alexandra and welcome back to my channel. Since it is already July and I have read 100 books this year, I thought it would be a perfect time to go over my favorite books of each month. So that's 7 books. I also added one in April, so I will talk about 8 books that I loved so far this year. First in January, I finished 9 books. My favorite book of that month was Electric Idol by Kathy Robert. This is the second book in the, I don't know how it's called, a series, where you're following Greek gods, but in today's time. So basically, these gods are like powerful families. At the head of the family is the god. And yeah, I really love that. If you never read anything by Kathy Robert, I think that series is a good start. I also listened to it as an audiobook. I did the same thing with the first one. I think it was called Neon Gods. Sorry, my cat. And I also really loved it. I read it last year during a trip, and this year I just listened to Electric Idol at work and I really enjoyed it. As you can see, I have a needy boy. Okay, so now for February I have read 14 books, and surprisingly my favorite one was a nonfiction. It is A Taste for Poison by Neil Bradbury. It is like a historical poison life. You learn about how poisons were used to kill people, and that's how they were discovered as poison and dangerous. Yep, so maybe one day he's gonna leave, I don't know. But yeah, you learn a lot about poison and I really enjoyed that one. It was super interesting. I'm not a big fan of science, like I didn't study science in school or anything, but I enjoy listening or reading about science in a way that everybody can understand, and that was it. It was really good. It was also part of my Goodreads challenge. At first I was supposed to do the non-fiction category. I not doing it, but I read A Taste of Poison and really enjoyed it. Then in March I have read 13 books. That's funny because March 13 is my birthday, so I have read 13 books in my birthday month. My favorite book was Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lin Tan. This is a fantasy. I also bought it because I really enjoyed the cover. It is also part of the Goodreads challenge, but truth to be told, I never heard of that thing before buying it. So I was really surprised to learn that it was kind of popular. Not too much, just enough. And it was good, so good. It took me a while to read it because I was kind of in a reading slump, but really enjoyed it. You're following now the names. Xinging, probably not pronouncing that right. She grew up on the moon. She's the daughter of the moon goddess, and at one point the rest of the gods come and see her mom, but they don't know that her mom has a daughter and she has to escape. That's when the story starts really. She finds herself as a servant in a household of another god, and she becomes a really good warrior, and that's when she learns that her dad was supposed to be the moon god, but he died and her mom took his place. My cat is gonna make everything fall down. It's not even funny. Okay, so yeah, really good. If you love fantasy, you should read this. And also it's nice to read books that are not written by like Americans. Sue Lin Tan is from Malaysia and she lives in Hong Kong and wrote this, and I also have the next book in that series and really enjoyed it, so that was really nice. Then moving on to April, my biggest month of the year by far. I have read 26 books in April, and it was also a really good month in terms of enjoying my reads. So the first book I'm gonna mention is The 7 Moons of Mali Almeida. You're following Mali as he just died. Basically, he just died, and he asked to figure out how he died in 7 moons, so 7 days. And basically it's set in Sri Lanka right now or a couple of years ago, and they're going through a really bad time. Inflation is super high, civil unrest, they just got out of a war, civil war, and the situation is not good. So Mali died because he was like against the war, and he was taking pictures and he got killed. It's not a spoiler, it's clear. But what I really enjoyed about this book is it's just the writing is so good, and you get to learn so much about everything that's happening in that country, which is not something that people usually read. I read a lot because I love post-colonial literature. Yeah, and it's not my first Sri Lankan writer that I'm really enjoying, and this was really good. It also won the Booker Prize in 2022, exactly 30 years after Michael Ondaatje won for the, forgetting the name, but anyway, Michael Ondaatje is a Canadian who was born in Sri Lanka and also writes a lot about the Sri Lanka situation. And yeah, if you want to try something new, try this. Then I have a little, because 26 books in 1 month, I can't choose just one book. So this is my second favorite book of April. This is The Night Shift by Alex Finley. Sorry, my cat is like, I don't know what he's trying to do. No idea. Anyway, okay, so you're following this woman who wait, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so 4 teenagers were killed in an attack, and years later they're trying to figure out who killed them because it's still unknown. I'm so confused because I've read so many mysteries this year. Okay, so years ago 4 teenagers were attacked, but one of them survived, and many years later 4 teenagers were also attacked. So the person who survived is forced to go back to their memories to figure out who could have killed the teenagers now. It was really good. Sorry, that was such a mess, but anyway, it was really good. This has to be my favorite mystery of the year. So yeah, really good. And then if we go to May, in May I have read 20 books. It wasn't a good month. My favorite book was a reread. It's Breathe by Abby Glines. You're following Sadie and Jax. Jack is a superstar. Sadie is a girl from a small town, poor girl. But it's really good. It's the first book in the series which I just finished rereading, and as usual really enjoyed it. The first book is my favorite. Then we're on to June. In June I have read 9 books. My favorite was The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. You're following a young girl as she's forced to marry a powerful duke or something. Don't remember his exact title. And you're following her, well, you learn about her life prior to her marriage, and then you get to know what happened in her marriage and how she got out, and it was really sad. So really good. If you like historical fiction, that was a strong read. And then the last book, just realized I forgot to put it there. The last book I'm gonna mention is one I have read in July. So far this month, because it's still July. I have read 11 books, and my favorite one is Virgin River by Robin Carr. You're following Mel and Jack, as Mel just came to Virgin River to work as a nurse, and it's really similar to the TV show. If you enjoy the TV show, you might enjoy this. Really similar, but it's cozy vibes and exactly what I needed at that time. So yeah, these are all my 8 favorite books of this year so far. And if you have any recommendation, because I'm always on the lookout for amazing books, if there's one book that you really enjoyed so far this year, just drop it below and I'll try to read it as soon as I can. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye.